You are entering E&C's Pod of Awesomeness.
Not a breath of one.
Why? I feel like that's a good time to start then, because you never say anything at the beginning of this podcast anyway. So who cares if you're out of breath? Why are you out of breath?
Well, because I realized it was almost 2 o'clock. And
you were like, oh, I gotta run. I gotta go talk to Adam, eh? Yeah, I gotta see if Mega Matt's there too, huh?
Well, I've had to fill up my Arctic water container here. You know, the steel one that keeps your water nice and chilled with a big straw in it.
Wait, what is that your stubble in the microphone?
Yeah, I think it was. Because I took a sip out of my drink. And then I realized that I was going to be late. So I ran in the office and realized that my unit, not that one, the one for the podcast, was not in here. It was in the other room, so I had to run back across the house, and you know how huge my house is. It took me forever to get over there. So then I had to run back, so I'm out of breath.
You just made me snort. You're such an asshole. Okay, so moral of the story is you're out of shape. Got it. Okay.
No, I'm not out of shape, actually. I'm in pretty good shape right now.
No, not rocking the dad bod, huh?
Well, I'm not going that far, but it's like, good. It's on the better side of dad bod. Yeah.
Let's do the comparison. Are you Chris Pratt from Parks and Recreation or Chris Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy?
I think I'm somewhere in between.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe a little closer to the Guardians, because I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what?
What?
I started an Instagram this week.
I heard.
Yeah. And it's actually me. And you want to know why? Because that whoever it was, weirdo that was somehow verified on Instagram and had 250,000 followers. So I thought,
it was verified?
I'm going to shut that down. It was verified.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
How's it get verified?
Yeah, and then I remember, you text me right after and told me about it. Then you said, hey, is that you on Instagram? Because it has like almost 200,000 followers. And no, it's not me. I don't have Instagram. So if anybody's following a Christian one. So what happens is, and then I went on and looked at it, and basically whenever I post a picture on Twitter, that person then takes a picture off of my my Twitter and puts it on my Instagram. So that's basically what happens.
So for any listeners listening, that is Christian for Peeps on Instagram is not the Birdman.
Yeah, it's not me.
But Edge Rated R is.
Yeah, I'm working on getting it though. I'm working on getting that shit shut down, brother. Ooh. How many Paul Smackage Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts do you think there are now?
Ooh, I'd say there's probably a good 2.
You think?
1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. People like Paul Smackage. I did an appearance in Milwaukee this past weekend, and a lot of hosers and a lot of people talking about Paul Smackage. They dig Paul. So,
well, we talked about your appearance in Milwaukee on the Steve Austin podcast, which you can also download and listen to, where we were able to confirm that one said Rattlesnake will come on and do Anatomy of a Match. And this is what we're working on, folks.
Yeah.
Anatomy of a Match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart.
Yeah.
The no holds barred, no disqualification match that basically turned each of them from babyface to heel and started the blood from a stone, the Stone Cold Steve Austin with the blood streaming down the face that you know.
And that was actually my favorite Austin T-shirt. It wasn't even a 316 shirt. My favorite one was the blood from a stone, and had I think was it a 316 on the front and had that on the back?
Yeah,
I can't remember, but I just remember that was my favorite shirt that said blood from a stone and had it was pretty. It had his face with the crimson mask, brother. That was my favorite one.
And I forgot that we used to wear that shirt a lot, and Austin used to wear a Brood shirt.
Yeah,
when we all traveled, he'd wear the Brood shirt. And
the first time he did that was, and it was pretty cool. We were in Germany on a tour, and we were at the bar after, and we were fairly new there, and we were having some adult bevies with a couple of the guys, and Steve being one of them, just hanging out, having some laughs, and you and I being the new guys, we were, doing our part, making sure everybody had drinks and buying rounds and stuff like that, having a good old time. And I remember the next morning we got on the bus. We were always very early for the bus. Always made sure we were on time. That's important. And I remember looking out the window and seeing Steve walk out with a Brood shirt on. And that was right around the time where pretty much everywhere he went, he wore Austin shirts. And I don't know if he had one or if he had called the merch guy to bring him one, but he wore it that whole day, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and Steve was always early for the bus, too.
Yeah, he was. Steve was early for everything. He was always the first one to the building.
Let me finish talking, man. Why do you keep cutting me off today?
Oh, now you know how it feels, Edge. Oh.
He was always the first one there, always the last one to leave. Just saying. Hey, so I want to talk Hall of Fame inductees for the 2018 class so far. We haven't talked about it, man. Have we not talked about it?
Chat.
What are you laughing about?
I'm not laughing. It just caught me off guard for some reason. I didn't know we were going there.
Oh, you were laughing, and that's what I do, man. I keep you on your toes because you want to. Oh yeah, what are we going to do? What are we going to? I'm not even going to tell you. We're just going to do it. We're going to talk about Goldberg, the Dudleys, and Ivory so far announced for the 2018 class.
Yeah, let's talk about
it. What's your take? Goldberg's the headliner, much deserved. I mean, let's face it, the guy. He to me was one of the reasons that WCW was able to win 82 weeks in a row or whatever it was, and at one time rivaled Austin in popularity.
Yeah, and I mean he had that similar look to Steve too, right, with the black tights and the bald head, but was a little bit different as far as personality went and the in-ring presentation. And yeah, he had that kind of mysterious factor about him because he didn't really talk, and he had the cool entrance with, they come and knock on his door and he'd walk out and he'd walk to the ring, come through with the smoke and spit it back out his mouth and his nose and do the punches and the kicks, and his matches didn't last long. It was almost like watching a Tyson fight in his prime. You knew it wasn't going to last long, but you knew it was going to be exciting. And you're right. He kind of captured the imagination of WCW fans and wrestling fans all over the world, and he's become an iconic guy, an iconic superstar in the business.
Now, I know there was comparisons at the time, but I never think of Steve and Goldberg and think of they're two completely different things to me. Oh yeah, they both wear black tights, but that's where it all ends for me because I don't even think of them in the same vicinity except for the popularity aspect. And you want to know how somebody's popular is. I went into a gas station, I don't know, somewhere in South Carolina. Now, obviously, they didn't sell, but the fact that they were still there was like Goldberg car fresheners from like 1998. Yeah. Now, okay, they were still there, but the fact that they even made Goldberg car fresheners, speaks to the fact that dude was over.
Right.
Still is over. What am I talking about? He's Mania last year.
Yeah, and I thought when he had his comeback, I thought it was well done, and obviously from the reactions, fans remembered who he was and wanted to see him, and he's a deserving guy to go in the Hall of Fame. And I think even more than that, outside the ring, as far as humanitarian things go, he's even a bigger superstar to me. The way that he treats children and treats other people, he's a good, solid dude.
And I will go so far as to say that being the inaugural guest on the E&C Pod of Awesomeness, that we pre-strapped
we did
the fuck out of Goldberg.
The thing is,
straight to the Hall of Fame.
We didn't even realize at the time we were rocket strapping. That's the thing.
I did.
This magic was happening, and it took us a few episodes in to realize the effect that we were having on people. It's almost like when you go to bed at night and you put on those motivational tapes, and it all sinks in that way when you're asleep. It's kind of like when you listen to this podcast. You don't even know what's happening, but it's coming through your earwaves into your soul, and it just grips your insides, and the rocket fuel is being placed inside.
So we grab your insides, we pour rocket fuel into your soul through the pores of your skin.
Yeah.
And then we grab your insides and do stuff in there too, is what you're saying. Is a lot of stuff like that.
Well,
right?
I mean, not to get too technical. Yes, we do the stuff on the inside.
Okay. We do stuff on the inside too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dudley's going in. Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. These guys were, and you're looking at the whole scope of what they've done in the business, not just WWE, right? Like ECW, they were the flagship team there. Obviously, not every performer that came from ECW to WWE made a smooth transition. And
Public Enemy.
Yeah.
I mean, Perry Saturn. There's a lot that.
Yeah. And you think these guys stepped in, and they were smart enough to realize they had to change a couple things up. They went from the tie-dyed stuff to the camo stuff, but kept the essence of what the Dudleys were. And yeah, and obviously when we have a lifelong bond with those guys for helping put each other on the map and doing some stuff that's still talked about to this day as far as matches go with TLCs and things like that. Much deserving, and they were so good as a team that it was hard to see them separate. They got there, they tried it once and it didn't really work. Later on in their TNA run, when Bubba was doing the Bully Ray stuff, people really, okay, we get this now because it was so far removed from what they were doing before. But for the longest time, I mean, and still when you hear it, you both those names, the first thing you think about is the Dudley Boys, right?
Yeah.
It's just their name is synonymous with tag team wrestling, and they're one of the most decorated teams in the history of the business, and it's well deserved. They're awesome, and they're also good friends.
I think they're the most decorated, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they might be.
I'm just throwing that out there. I think where they did themselves a favor is they worked APA when they first came in, and they didn't let the APA beat the shit out of them. No, I'm serious. They fought back.
Yeah.
And for that's why when we worked APA, it was the same thing. We fought back, okay? Because if they steamrolled you, then you just lost cred in the locker room.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. I mean, Bubba is legit one of the strongest guys I've ever been in the ring with. He's a strong dude. He's really strong.
Got that weird.
Strong legs. Like all his strength comes from the bottom. Looks big calves, those strong legs, and he's a big, strong dude. Like he really is. When he grabs a hold of you, you get, oh man, this guy's strong, really strong. So no pushovers in that department, brother.
No. So Dudley's going in. Obviously, we're pretty ecstatic about that. So and Ivory.
Yeah.
And I called this one, because she absolutely deserves it. She's been in the industry before she got to WWF, probably 10, 12 years, was one of the original characters in Glow, which is now a television series. Goes to WWF when the roster was not exactly booming and was the linchpin of it for a long time. Changed to right to censor. She's working China at WrestleMania, puts China over strong. Really, she's one of the architects of this thing.
Mm. Yeah. No, yeah. She's another, super nice person. And, you almost, because she's been away for a little while, it's almost like, oh man, yeah, when you go back and look at the scope of her career, you realize how much she's done and how much she's accomplished, and how far back, like you said, it goes back to Glow, which is now a top show on Netflix. I mean, it's unreal. So yeah, her contributions are well, gonna be immortalized.
Well immortalized.
Well, I didn't mean to say well immortalized.
Oh, okay.
That's just the way it came out.
That could have been a Hulk Hogan shirt back in the day.
The well-immortalized Hulk Hogan. Or the well-immortalized one.
So, yeah, the Hall of Fame class, we just hadn't talked about it. That's who has been announced thus far. I love all of them going in. And, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Hey, and guess what I'm doing right now?
What?
Guess what I'm doing?
What?
I will admit to partaking in a hot whiskey as we speak.
Oh, nice. Maybe loosen you
It was
up
a long,
bit.
cold day. It was a long, cold day, Birdman. But guess what?
What?
Guess what? As the hosers are listening to this, as they're putting this goodness in their soul, as it's permeating, and the osmosis of the rocket strapping is happening to their nuclear membranes, and we're giving them basically a soul exfoliation with the goodness that we're putting in their bodies. I'm going to be on a flight. I'm flying home.
Oh my goodness gracious! What day?
Yeah. Friday morning, tomorrow morning, this morning, as people are listening to it, it's Thursday night.
You can stay up all night and party like it's 1999.
With my little red Corvette.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going home. So
Speaking,
stoked.
Yeah, that's cool. But hey,
Jay doesn't even care. You don't even care. No,
Oh, yeah. So you're going home. That's great. But listen to this.
What a brush up. You're a fucking asshole.
I wanted to tell you can get back to that in a second. Sure. If Road Warrior Hawk and Hulk Hogan had a tag team, it would be called Well Immortalized.
It would. No, it'd be Hawk Hogan. You.
Well.
That was a push there. Yeah. You had to really explain that one to me to get it. Yeah. But immortalized. Okay. Yeah. I like Hawk Hogan too.
Yeah, like you get.
Well immortalized. Well,
myself on that one.
Yeah,
all right, so you're going home.
Yeah, but whatever now.
Yeah. You can't follow Well Immortalized.
Yeah, I guess I can't actually. I'm realizing. You know how we can follow it? You want to know how?
Well,
I think it's time because we've been asked quite a bit lately. People want to hear from Tommy.
Tommy.
We
haven't talked to Tommy in a while, have we?
Tommy. So people want Tales from the Indies. Yeah, and here's, before we get to Tales from the Indies, today is going to be a Q&A. It's going to be a Q&A session. It's going to be a Q&A cornucopia. I don't even know if that makes sense. But we're going to do Tales from the Indies and then a Q&A. Yeah. I think it's probably time.
That's good, Tommy.
To well immortalize Tommy Dreamer. Tommy.
Well, here we go. Hey, Edge, I'm very excited because this week's show is sponsored by Health IQ. See, Health IQ uses science and data to secure lower rates on life insurance for health-conscious people, including runners, cyclists, strength trainers, vegans, and more, brother.
Well, did you know that 56% of Health IQ customers save between 4 and 33% on their life insurance? Health IQ can save our customers up to 33% because physically active people have a 56% lower risk of heart disease, 20% lower risk of cancer, and a 58% lower risk of diabetes. You didn't know that, did you? And that's compared to people who are inactive.
Whew, that's crazy numbers, Edge. But I know one thing that gives me more lifespan, longer life to be cheap. Save that money. To see if you qualify, get your free quote today at healthiq.com/EC or mention the promo code EC when you talk to a Health IQ agent.
Like saving money on your car insurance for being a good driver, Health IQ saves you money on your life insurance for living a health-conscious lifestyle. So again, to see if you qualify, get your free quote at healthiq.com/EC or mention EC when you talk to a Health IQ agent.
Tommy.
Tales from the Indies.
Tommy left us hanging for 10 minutes.
Hi, Tommy.
I apologize. What's going on?
Nothing. What are you doing? It's been a while since we've talked.
Tommy?
I'm going to say that our listeners, the hosers, have greatly missed you and have requested your appearance because they want to hear your velvety, monotone voice. And I will tell you that I miss you too.
I miss you as well. Tales from the Indies got over, brother. That's what we did.
Well, Tommy doesn't have time for us anymore because we have to work around his schedule now since he's a big radio star, brother.
No, not really. I just, was doing that. I was on the phone. I'm wheeling and dealing. There's a lot of stuff going on, guys. The wrestling business is on fire. I'm dealing with Twitch. A lot of stuff.
Tommy Twitch.
What's going on with you guys? What are you talking about?
Well, we're talking about Tales from Andes.
Well, we're talking about Tommy Twitch. I want to find out what's going on with the Twitch, the Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch
Twitch is going good. That was actually a huge write-up about them. They got the rocket strap going on. They have more viewers than CNN and HNNSBC, one of those radio news stations on TV.
Huh.
I was just reading the article. It's the wave of the future, brother. And as always, I got them over, and then they went and put on other people on the network, those bastards.
Like who?
But they now have Impact streaming. They have Lucha AAA, and they have something else. But, I mean, they told me they were going to do that, so it's all good. I support anybody who supports pro wrestling. They also have this, like, old wrestling classics channel that, like, had, like, Randy Savage versus Jerry Lawler. So they're still expanding. They want content. There's a whole war out there now for content, brothers.
Whoa. That is the most fired up I've heard you in a little while. You know, usually it's you kind of talk like this, but that got you fired up.
Yeah.
The war
so
for viewers.
You've been so busy.
Change my life and change your lives, and most importantly, change the wrestling fans' lives. Guys, come on! I've been fighting and struggling and getting kicked in my ball bag every friggin' day. What talent's gonna leave? Now maybe we'll be able to fight back.
Oh, Tommy,
What?
fight the good fight, Tommy.
I try.
So with you now being an executive, pretty much a suit. A suit from Kohl's, mind you. Would you?
I don't think I fit into Kohl's anymore. By the way.
Oh, have you been strapping up the boots, brother, or what?
Always. And for every heavy-set individual out there, I know I may have talked about this before. Kohl's came out with this new fabric. They jeans had sex with spandex, and it's like this soft, stretchy jeans. It is the most amazing feeling. There's no more chafing going on when I walk, and they stretch. It's like women's leggings, but they're jean material. It's a hybrid, just like myself, and it is spectacular. I can wear jeans and not be in pain, because when I would sometimes wear jeans, I would get in pain. But now no more, and they're available at Kohl's. I recommend everyone to get them because they're amazing. I could walk like a normal person now.
Ooh.
Here's
my question, Tommy. Do you ever see yourself wearing said jeans while you work? And I'm not talking like street fight, Dusty Rhodes, the Texas Bull Rope match. I'm just talking plain old, regular old wrestling match. Are you ever going to wear your jeggings into a wrestling match so you don't chafe during the match?
I have done a few run-ins with them. I did a run-in recently, and I also, as I slid in, I almost clearly slid across the ring because they're so silky and fresh. Where was that? I think that was with Ring of Honor and Bubba. I mean, I just slid in, and I was like, whoa, like I was on ice.
That's great.
And, I've noticed in a few pictures that it does produce a little bit of the ladies would call a muffin top. And my muffin top sometimes gets a little muffiny. So I don't know if that would go full-blown, street fight-esque, but you never know. Maybe some Under Armour, or maybe I have to bust out the old Fat Guy Butcher underneath to keep it all layered.
Yeah.
And have my street fight that way.
Yeah. Whew.
What about, is there an appearance of a moose knuckle with the muffin tops?
No.
You got a letter in the mailbox there, Tommy, or what?
Okay.
Holy Canadian reference. No, there's no moose knuckling going on that. They're very, very comfortable guys. They'll change every heavy set listener's life, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Not like skinny men like Christian with his skinny jeans.
Ooh, Tommy, don't be jealous of my swimmer's physique.
I was just watching something on the WWE Network, like a top 10, and I forgot how jacked you friggin' were. Holy cow.
Who?
You.
When?
This was, I think it was like top 10 love affairs.
Wait, I was never jacked.
Yeah.
No, you were jacked. Top 10 love affairs that just fizzled away, and it was it was you trying to made a bet with Jericho about dating Lita.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed a picture of you this when you had your short hair, and I was like, holy, extra testosterone enhancement on that one. You were looking
Tommy. Yeah, I was like 26.
He was storing chestnuts for the winter.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
You forget.
Yeah.
For me, it's always been T-shirts, and I could just, I'm good. But I forgot what a great physique you had, brother. Now you have your actor's physique, which makes you look even leaner.
Well,
more muscular.
Yeah, well, I still never had abs then. And it wasn't until I changed up my diet, my training routine. Maybe I got a little too lean, Tommy.
Jay, there was a point where you did get a little disturbingly thin there when you were running 19 miles a day or whatever it was that you were doing, because you have OCD, and when you start something, you then go, okay, I have to do this to the point where I'm about to run the Boston Marathon.
Yeah, I'm very OCD with stuff like that.
No, with telephones, cars, anything new. I always would look forward to the long-ass drives. We would come in, and then I would get the text, hey, you want to do night cardio, have a night, what do we call it, night cardio party?
A cardio party.
Yeah, cardio party.
Instead of going to the bar, we'd go to cardio.
Yeah, man. He was a little obsessed. He'd have his stinky wetsuit sometimes. Teddy Long told him to wear it to lose more weight, and he'd be just dripping Canadian goo all over the place.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, no problem.
Liquid gold.
Yo,
like your old pyro, brother.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Tommy, I have a question for you, and this is indie wrestling related.
Okay.
On your House of Hardcore shows,
yes,
would you be willing to set up a stand strictly for E&C Pod merchandise?
Sure.
Specifically, the Tommy shirt.
Probably not, no. Stupid shirt, and I don't think it would sell. We only have hot sellers, brother.
Tommy. I feel like it would sell.
I don't know about that.
Why won't you wrestle in a Tommy shirt?
Because I don't really think it's appropriate if we're trying to get sympathy on a fat, balding, overweight baby face, and then people are just going, Tommy. Someone did that when my good friend, Bully Ray, got his concussion, and I said same running, sliding save, and a few people were going, Tommy. And not only did I look at them, Bubba Koresh looked at them in his dazed state, and I was like, it's really not appropriate. And they're like, sorry. So again, this was an insider thing that you have brought to the attention of the world. So that's why it's not over with me. I don't dislike it, but when people walk up to me, just like when we have one person ECW chants are lame, or even two people chants and they go ECW, they're lame. So when a person walks up and says, Tommy, and then they literally have that regret, like most women when they were asleep with me the moment we were finished, they're like, oh, why did I do that? Like, it's stupid. So that's kind of where we're at.
I feel like more people do it than you let on.
Yeah, and I think
all the time to me.
Yeah, and they should. I think you are really putting a negative spin on this, Tommy. Yeah. I think you should just accept the recognition, accept the love, accept the fact that it means that you have endeared yourself to people. You have implanted yourself on their frontal lobe, and they're happy to see you. And it all brings back good memories and connotations from listening to the E&C Pod of Awesomeness and the friendship and the love that E to the C have for Tommy.
I understand that, but first of all, Jay did this. He was the one who started it. He was the innovator of this stupidity, and he did it to annoy me. He's a dick. And then you jumped on it because you like to push my buttons, just like that's what friends do. You push each other's buttons. And I try explaining to people, well, yes, it is funny, but when you're trying to have a communication with someone that you're in a car with for 3 to 4 hours, I was like, hey, you want to stop here? Tommy. Hey, you want to get something to eat? Where do you want to go, Tommy? So I was like, I had to deal with that for the longest time.
Oh, I want to break something else out
where
here.
it would be just broken down, and then, yes, I would start laughing because I'd be like, all right, idiot, go ahead.
Yeah, and you're also a grumpy morning person. You're like a grumpy bear in the morning.
Yeah.
And you really didn't like it in the morning. But you also didn't like, and maybe this will deflect some of the Tommy heat if I remind Adam of this, and I'm sure he'll jump on as soon as I start going, Dreamer. He's just a Tommy dreamer. My little Tommy dreamer.
Ah, you're both children. And your father's in your 40s, and I have to remind, like today, I was hosting Busted Open, co-hosting Busted Open, and I got a call from Bruce from Stanford, which is a known inside ECW thing, because when Paul Heyman called the WWE to accept the challenge, it was Bruce from Stanford, how he hacked in, and Bruce from Stanford called in, and we were talking about feuds, and a former ECW alumni said, he's first like, "Ha, Tom, a dreamer, first time calling," and my favorite feud is that he starts laughing. At the moment he started laughing, I knew who it was, and he was like from the NWA with Billy Corrigan and Lou E. Dangerously, and I just go, okay, because Lou likes to prank people. He also likes to prank people as Tommy Dreamer and does my voice very, very well, and then he sends it to me, and I'm like, dude, you're in your 40s. Stop prank calling people. Though they're funny as can be, and he's still great at it, because back in the day in ECW, we used to also, to pass time, they would call different wrestlers as other people. Mm-hmm. And Lou used to do it, Nova used to do it, and then we'd all listen to it. When you guys were making those millions in the Attitude Era, we were just cranking guys for like $75 on the road, brother.
Yeah.
Different times of pleasure.
Yeah, brother. Hey, Tommy, what if we brought in a Hardcore Martyr t-shirt under the E&C banner? Sold that.
Bubba always calls me. He called me up the other day. He called me, "Oh, you still got to be the fat martyr." It's like a mixture of murder and martyr. Yeah. But he always has to throw fat, and he's still, even when he wanted me to leave ECW and go to WWE, he's like, "Oh, you're going to stick by Heyman, stop being such a fat martyr."
Martyr.
I'm not getting a cut of any of these T-shirts either, so stop plugging them. You get whatever. Leave me alone.
He's just a Tommy dreamer.
You're making more money off of me than anybody.
He's my little Tommy dreamer.
Oh, no.
See, everyone is listening. This is how I be having normal people conversations, and these two idiots would be doing stuff like that. They're grown men with children who have to look up to them and be responsible, and this is what happens. And it's only when we're around each other. So
all right,
they become somewhat normal.
Hey, this is Tales from the Indies, not an after-school special, so stop lecturing.
Okay.
Talk about some wrestling. What else you got going on, Tommy?
Yeah, what's been going on with the Indies? What have you been doing? Have you bionic elbowed any ceilings lately? Do you have any wrestlers' dandruff floating down on your body after taking a body slam? What's going on?
No, that was face paint, brother. Not just, I thought it might have been dandruff. No, Tales from the Indies was good. A woeful tale was this past weekend. I had a big booking, brother, in Chicago.
Yeah,
brother.
And the weather, it got canceled, and I had worked for the person before, didn't get a deposit, so guess what that means? Tommy Dreamer's out that money, which sucks. Stop being nice. And then the next day I had the big one in Rhode Island, which is supposed to be blown up, by the way. I'm walking up the steps.
I was like, what are you doing?
I'm walking.
At the beginning of this
literally
pod.
Walking up 4 steps. Oh, I'm
Jay.
have a heart attack. I'm an athlete. Oh.
This is
So
not a
in
good
Rhode
sign.
Island,
At the beginning of this podcast, Jay walked across the house, and he first got on, and he sounded like he was going to have a heart attack. Now you're walking up 4 stairs. You sound like you're going to have a heart attack. I sound like I have emphysema when I laugh. What is going on with us?
Well, let's be honest here, right? I ran across the distance of my house one end to the other, and my house is probably a lot bigger than Tommy's.
Such a dick. See, listeners? This is what I have to deal with. A snide remark, or my favorite always, we'd have like stupid contests, or so I'd be like, oh man, I got to pee, and he would sucker punch me while I'm driving in my kidneys when I have to urinate. This is what I have to deal with. Or you would poke me sometimes and just go, Tommy. Poking the bear.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
Bear, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Rhode Island, we set up a lovely angle between me and one JT Dunn, a very good wrestler. And we were coming back with a tag match, but the one kid couldn't make it because his wife was going to have a baby, Canadian wrestler Ethan Page. And so we had to last minute change everything. So it was me and Matt Tremont, who's a good wrestler, a hardcore, more of a death match type of guy, versus JT Dunn, and he brought out Jimmy Jacobs from WWE Creative. And we had a really, really good match. That was last Sunday. Their next show is in March, but I'm booked in Vegas, so I couldn't make the return, so I don't know what they're going to do. But I also got to see, and then we reunited the Impact Players, brother.
Oh.
And Justin Credible was there. He helped me win my match because he's clean and sober now, so he realizes he should never have turned on me and been mean to me because he's now nice and clean and sober as opposed to being drunk and on drugs. So he realized I'm a nice guy, so he actually helped me. And then we had a nice moment, and Lance Storm came out because he was a special referee for 2 of his students, Emma, formerly known as Emma Tennille Dashwood, I believe is her real name, and Rachel Ellering, Precious Paul Ellering's daughter. They had a really good match, and Lance was the special ref. And that's what I love about wrestling, especially independent wrestling, because you never know what you're going to see. And here came, we had a nice reunion of the Impact Players. And Justin is, then he was 48 days sober, though he's wrestling in a bar, and he had no temptations to go drink, and so that was a really, really good day.
Well, that's good. That seems like something I wouldn't put myself through, but hey, to each their own, right?
And then I had to drive home in really shitty rain for about 3.5 hours, and when I finally got out of my car, my new car, which Jay would have researched, and and I really liked the car, and Jay would have researched and told me to buy this car years ago.
What was
my
it?
back was I got a Kia something.
Optima?
Yeah, something like that.
I think I did tell you to get a Kia Optima, didn't I, Tommy?
Yeah, they're nice, and it's only $194 a month, which is really nice. And so then I had just being in the car for so long, because I drove 3.5 hours up there, wrestled 3.5 hours back, saw that time in the car, so I had the Terry Funk, Tommy Dreamer, sometimes Edge. I pooped my pants walk because our back is all tight. And
Yes, that walk.
Had that walk. And then, so I'm struggling to get out of the car, and it's later at night, and you open the door, and I have my excitement of my dogs, and they're like, my one dog almost knocks me over because your back is so tight. And then when I went inside, I think Beulah yelled at me for the dogs barking because, of course, that's my fault. And then my daughter came out half asleep, told me she loved me. Then I had to let my dogs out, and then because I'm 40 just turned 47. I go outside and the cold air hits me, and then all of a sudden I have to instantly pee when I didn't have to pee moments ago. So we all peed. All three of my dogs just pee outside. And then Beulah came down and caught me peeing outside. And she's like, "What are you doing?" Like, she hates me anyway, so that's okay. But then just her watching me urinate, and like, you know, I talk to myself. I put my hands on my hips, not only to help support my back, but just like be proud of it. That's me on a Sunday night.
And she was just staring at you with pure disgust. I know it.
Absolutely. She caught me peeing in bottles because I didn't want to walk up said 6 steps because I'd be breathing like that. And
you are a human bulldog, aren't you? That's really what it's become. You have the bulldogs, but you are a human bulldog. And Tommy, happy belated birthday, by the way. I meant to text you, but I was working all day.
Oh, he's too busy. I called him on his birthday and left him a really nice voice message, and he didn't answer or reply. I had to call him again the next day.
I was a little mad at you. Thank you very much. So we don't need to discuss our heat with each other or my heat with you. And that was done on purpose, though. I did enjoy your message after I squashed our heat, brother.
Yeah.
But,
you liked it? Did you pop?
I did.
I would. Okay, we won't divulge to the listeners, but I want to know what this.
If he wants to go that way, I'll go.
No,
my life's an open book. I'm talking about me friggin' holding my hands on my hips as I pee in the wind with my 3 dogs.
We're gonna let that stew with the hosers. But let's just say this: whenever Tommy and I have heat, we never have real heat. Tommy can never stay mad at me. Let's be honest.
Bubba Koresh still doesn't like our relationship. Buries you at every point. I love it.
He's threatened by us, Tommy.
He's jealous. Yeah. He sounds jealous.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was this week. Today I did Busted Open, which I kind of host. A lot of good stuff. Under contract with Sirius to do some radio stuff and some other stuff. Working behind the scenes, stuff like that, and actually signed a contract with another company on television. Oh, I went to Impact, by the way. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But I didn't sign a contract with them. But I signed a contract to work for another wrestling company as well, brother. Because I'm a hybrid bounty hunter.
Hybrid bounty hunter. So, Tommy, can you please go back to the kick pads and the UFC gloves? And I
don't think the world really knows about that. That's like an inside thing.
No, that was in TNA, but that was that was the hybrid when I was trying out my new attire. I was fresh, hot off of my WWE run, brother.
Yeah.
And I had something to prove, so I figured, what better way? Let's go to kick pads and MMA gloves.
Yeah.
Didn't really work out too well, and then my first pitcher.
Wait, hold on. Do you ever throw kicks and do any kind of fisticuffs that would involve like MMA gloves?
Yeah. Snap and air kick. I could also say I was going to do like the Daniel Bryan stuff. He was hot. When you are on the indies, you do whoever's popular stuff out there. I bust out a spear, which I never would do. RKO. Well, I used to do RKO always, but any move that's popular, like I could also see who's getting over, not by their pops on television, by what indie wrestlers are doing their maneuvers for finishes. And I got to tell Chris Jericho, he's got to step back up. He may have shocked the world with him and Kenny Omega, but no one's doing those code breakers anymore. He needs to get back on a run, brother, because the code breaker was a big indie move.
Yeah.
Huh. You can see that and most guys on the indies do them as falses anyway.
Yeah, of course, like the super kick, right? Well, whose alarm is going off?
Not mine.
Jay?
That's not here.
Is it here?
My room on
fire? Yeah, it's here in Ireland. Someone's alarm is going off.
Your house is getting raided. They know you're leaving. You're skipping town tomorrow, brother.
Think so?
Yeah.
Think they know?
How long are you on the road for?
I'm going home tomorrow, brother.
Nice.
Or as the hosers are listening to this, I'm on a flight.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. It's real cool.
Were you around for Best going back to the Royal Rumble?
I was not. I actually I flew out, the week before. So I missed all of that. And
she was in the
I
Rumble
mean, I
Bros.
did.
It was really good. I was rooting.
I saw it. I just I was getting ready for my pickup and watching it on the network, going, okay, I hope this finishes before I had to go because I had a 4 a.m. pickup, and the match just finished at 4, so I got to see her deal and everything like that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yep. All right, Tommy.
Well, Tommy, it was great to hear your voice.
Good to hear your voice, Tommy.
I missed you, Tommy, and everyone
missed you guys
you.
too. I would like to thank your hosers for caring about me. And this Sunday, live on Twitch,
Who?
the Young Bucks versus the Old Bucks. Tommy Dreamer and Billy Gunn. We're airing that show from Sydney. It's my next 3-hour special this Sunday on Twitch. It's free. You could watch it. MVP, Swagger, the Squad. We're all on it.
Twitch.
You can watch House of Hardcore and all our past shows, but this is a really, really good one. Me and Billy Gunn's combined age is 100, and the Young Bucks combined age is 50. So it's a hell of a match.
What do you know?
We call it the Young Bucks versus the Old Fox. So
yeah.
we'll just call it that on this pod anyway.
And then one spot in particular, I tagged Billy in, and I did the road dog spot, like the punch, the wiggle to pop him. And I hope it airs because he just starts going, no. And I did it, and I even dropped the knee. And I look to for his applause, and he's so angry and so jacked up in that Billy evil mean face. And he's like, no, that was stupid. I go, I did it to pop you. He goes, it didn't get a reaction. It's stupid. And he's yelling at me as my partner, something Jay would do, like the one time when he shoots Sunset Flip me, and I forgot to Davey Boy Smith lay on top of him like Bret Hart, Davey Boy Smith, SummerSlam, and he just screamed at me, what are you doing? Like he wanted to murder me on fucking television. But Billy's just yelling at me because it got no reaction. It got nothing. You shouldn't have done that. So I just tagged him and was like, oh, you're so mean. And he's like, then watch this. And then he just did something, but we're the worst tag team ever. I so thought he was going to turn on me for real in that match. He just started screaming at me like a coach going, no. So I hope that airs. Watch it on Twitch.
Well, now you can see it on Twitch. Okay, Tommy. It was good to hear from you, Tommy.
Love you guys. Have a safe flight. Talk to you later.
Love you, Tommy.
Bye, Tommy.
So there goes Tommy.
There he goes.
It was good to hear from him.
He was a little long-winded today, Tommy. But
he was. Yeah. We were gonna have to shut him down there a little bit. So thanks, hosers.
Tommy, sorry about that, hosers. Yeah.
I think without further ado, we get to this Q&A edition of the E&C Pod, since Tommy sucked up so much time.
Oh man, it's Q&A.
And I'm ready for this bad boy. I got them lined up. I went on my Twitter. I pasted. I did all of this stuff. I am ready to go with some of these questions. So I'm gonna kick it off, Jay. That's just what I'm gonna do. I'm
take this thing over. You think that you're the only one that's prepared for this?
But probably.
No.
Mega Matters too.
I scrolled through my Twitter as well, and I have a bunch set aside.
Okay.
I hand wrote them on a piece of paper.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm old school with one of those ink pens that you dip in, and I did it in calligraphy.
Like a calligraphy pen.
Yep.
Okay.
Classy. All right, let's get to it.
Philip Stover said, Edge, what was going through your mind right before you went through that flaming table? Absolutely nothing at all. Wait. I will say, I thought, I'm not wearing a shirt. That might not have been a good idea. Mick's wearing 3 shirts.
Ooh.
And then my foot clipped the top rope and almost caused me to, land directly on my head like a javelin into a flaming table. But beyond that, not a whole lot.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Sawyer wants to know, what are our favorite WrestleMania moments as a fan and as a wrestler? Yeah, what do you think about that one, Bert?
Well, my favorite WrestleMania moment, first of all, as a wrestler, I think would be probably winning the tag titles for the first time. Because there was, there's some talk at that point too, right before that, of us even splitting up. And we grew up wanting to be tag team champions. And So it was a very realistic possibility at that time that we might not even get to hold them once. And we ended up kind of changing some stuff up personality-wise, going with a little bit of a heel edge to us, and almost like, and I think at that point, completely turning heel, and we won the tag titles. So that, personally, I think that was my favorite WrestleMania moment, because we dreamed about that stuff as a kid, you know. I think that, as a fan, maybe the Taker Michaels match, off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's, I mean, as a fan, I mean, that entire match, but if I'm just going as a moment, I'm going Hogan slamming Andre.
Oh, is it moment, or is it?
Well, yeah, it was WrestleMania moment.
Oh, okay.
So for me, it's the body slam heard around the world, because that just, to me, when I think back, that was impossible to do at that point. Little did you know that Harley Race had done it, and, you know, all of these people had done it, you know, previously, but that was in my, you know, isolated, only information through wrestling magazine's mind. Right. You know, that was the changing of the guard and all of those things. So I think moment-wise, that would still be my favorite moment as a wrestler. You know, winning the tag team titles and maybe the spear to Jeff, or the spear to Foley, but probably the one to Jeff, I think, as a performer. Also, you know, going back and wrestling in Toronto at WrestleMania in the Sky Dome after, you know, sitting there for, you know, 12 years earlier and watching Hogan Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, you got that shampoo commercial out of it, too, so that was good.
True.
As far as moments go, then, if it was just...
Ichiban, by the way.
Yeah. If you're not talking about just a match moment, and I'm not going to say this is my favorite moment, but I think it was the most shocking moment, was when Brock beat Taker. And I think pretty much everyone backstage was the same reaction as you saw people in the crowd staring at the monitor. So that's, you know, off the top of my head, a big moment.
It's a big one. That's just one that it was like it was like a fart in a submarine, though. You know what I mean? Just still go, why? Yeah. Anyway,
I got a question.
You do. Fire away.
Yeah, I got some too, man. I do. So this is from...
Okay, so do it.
This is from Nick Carter, in brackets, not that one, at Nick RLC. So, who is Nick Carter's Backstreet Boy, for those who don't know. So, E&C Pod, there was a 5-day period, May 8th to May 13th, 2007, where you guys both held world championships, Edge, World Heavyweight, Christian, NWA. Not so much a question, but a cool fact. Do you have any memories of that at all? Yeah, I do, actually, because it was funny. I remember I was not gone very long from WWE, and I didn't get the pay-per-view where you cashed it in, the Money in the Bank briefcase, and somebody called me and said, "Hey, Adam just won." I didn't even know, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's amazing!" And I think we talked maybe the next day or something like that. But yeah, it was funny because not long after I won, and from what I understand, there was like a group flight somewhere, and Coach, I guess he looked on his phone, or somebody called and told him, and there were a baggage claim somewhere late one night, and I think he said it to you. I think he said, "Hey, our boy just won the NWA World Title," or something like that. And then going forward, when you had come over to my place when you were living here in Tampa, and we had kind of taken a picture. This way, man, if it was like Twitter or something was around at this point, it would have blown people's minds. But we took a picture with each other's title, which was pretty funny.
And we talked about that in the pod 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's out there somewhere. Actually, it's not out there. I think either you or I have it somewhere, so it's not really out there.
Do you have any memories of that there?
Yeah, well, that memory, but I talked about it 2 weeks ago, so I don't want to repeat it, for the third time in 3 weeks.
I just didn't know if you had any other little tidbits on that.
I mean, that was the biggie for me, is the fact that we could, go, hey, check this out. Like, you got the 10 pounds of gold, and I got the belt that basically succeeded the 10
big
pounds
gold
of
belt.
gold, in lineage terms. So that's pretty cool. Mikey BT said asked, person who you thought you'd click with but found a real struggle, apart from the Birdman, of course. But I'd say this is directed to both of us. I know for me, initially was Eddie. Eddie and I, we really put a lot of pressure on ourselves and just thought, okay, well, our matches, this is going to be easy, and it wasn't. We just, it felt like a struggle to us, and it wasn't to the par that we set that we wanted to have. So, our SummerSlam match and some of our subsequent TV matches and then our Unforgiven match were like, they were okay.
Yeah.
And we just wanted more. And I think when we finally felt like, okay, this is the pocket where we wanted to get to, where we thought we'd be right out of the gate, was the SmackDown No DQ match.
Yeah.
So, and it was just because we both are, perfectionists and wanted it to,
be awesome.
Be what we knew it could be,
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would throw us in that category. Because when we first went singles and we feuded each other, it was like pulling teeth, because we both didn't know what we were. And we were both trying too hard, especially me. And yeah, we were so, from my point of view, I was so used to thinking at that point like a tag guy and playing off somebody else. And now the pressure was on to, not just be a guy that happened to be in a tag team and now is floating. I wanted to move up. I wanted to be an important part of the show as a singles guy. And, I think that all the pressure I put on myself didn't do me any favors. And I was listening to a lot of people that were trying to offer me good advice, but it was too much information. And, that hurt me because, I didn't know how to process all that at the time. And I think that after, you and I had a match years and years later. I think we'd done a couple like tag things here and there, maybe together over the years. Maybe a couple quick things to make maybe like a Royal Rumble or something like that. But as far as matches go, years later, when we kind of both hit our respective, peaks as singles guys, we wrestled on a Raw, and it was like, man, this could be really friggin' good if we get to do something.
Yeah, at that point, with our different mindsets and kind of what we'd been through. I know we were both on, from a mental perspective, firing on all cylinders at that point. Yeah. So that's a very good point there, Birdman. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. You want to take a turn? I have more.
Sure. So this is from Calamari Rings and Tomatoes at Shut Up Pabs. E&C Pod Edge, Christian, when putting together a Royal Rumble, how does one remember all those spots, especially if you're in there for 45 minutes plus?
Well, we talked about that and about Finn Balor this year being the thread that holds the match together. That's such a difficult job. And whether it was Shawn Michaels or whether it was Ric Flair or whether it was Ray or all of these people who lasted a long time, there's a reason they're put in that position. And, to be the thread of a Royal Rumble match, it might be the most important. It is the most important job of the match. So it's almost a tip of the cap to be given the kind of kudos to go, okay, if this person has the steering wheel for this Royal Rumble, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And, but it's difficult for sure. And from a cardio standpoint and just from you're probably the first person that's feeding the next person coming in every time.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think you just have to specifically know, you have to know the order, right? You just have to know. And there's a lot of communication that has to go on, I guess, when there's people in there. But you have to know the order of certain things and know when to be in the way and when not to be. Like, there's a lot to remember. It's a big responsibility, and that's the best way to put it, is just to know when everybody's supposed to go out. You have to try to kind of keep that in mind. It can be a hard thing.
But it's strange too. It's almost like you get in the zone and your senses become like hyper aware when you're in the midst of it that long. I don't know any other way to kind of explain it except like if, I don't know, maybe a goalie in hockey who's between the pipes the entire game and is just everything kind of, you're seeing everything.
Well, I mean, some people work better under pressure, and those are the ones that really take off. And some people wilt under the pressure, right?
Ooh,
they can't
like
handle
a piece
it.
of lettuce.
Yeah. So
like an old piece of lettuce.
Yeah, I think that tests the mettle of somebody if they're going to go on and be able to, be a big star and be a main eventer and carry those types of matches. Are you going to be able to pull through under pressure? It's a big thing.
'Tis a big thing, Birdman. SC Lurie, if that is their real name, is there a TV show, past or present, you'd like to join the cast of? I mean, right now, I'd love to, join The Walking Dead. It shoots 3 hours from my home, which means I could drive to work or drive home on the weekend. So, and it's a massive show. So that to me jumps out. But I mean, I love Fargo. I love Better Call Saul. I mean, there's so many good. TV now is such an amazing medium.
It is,
and the quality of television now with the Netflix and the Amazon Primes and all, it's just so much great scripted content now that it's a fun time to be an actor.
Yeah, there's a show.
What are you
on
thinking?
right now
There's
a show on right now that I really enjoy called The Resident. It's on Fox, and I would love to do something on that show. I just really like it, and could see myself doing something on that. But off the top of my head, that would be probably the one at this point.
And if I'm going for the past, I don't know. I loved Cheers as a kid, and just picture that being so much fun to be a member of that cast. Or So maybe Cheers.
Yeah, but I would say Happy Days because we could hang out with Potsy and Richie and the gang and the Fonz.
And Chachi and Joni.
Fonz is the original rocket strapper.
You think?
Yeah, until he jumped the shark.
Oh. I
right?
think we might have with that comment.
You think?
Hey, let's not give any script ideas away for E&C, show that totally reeks of awesome season 2 if it ever happens.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, I got it. It's my turn, right? Question time.
Yes.
So CJ Palmisano at CJ 12 CJ _ 1214 wants to know, what are your thoughts on the All-In show that the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes are doing? So I think it's pretty damn ambitious. And I think that, good for them for always trying to kind of break new ground and do different things and raise the bar on what it is they're doing and doing things on their terms. I think it's a huge challenge, but hey, like a life with no challenges is no life at all, the way that I see it. So, good on them, and hopefully it's successful.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've talked about it on this show numerous times, but it's, betting on yourself.
Yep.
And I'm sure it'll be a huge undertaking, and I'm sure it'll be stressful, but it'll also be enjoyable. And, I'm sure it'll be a huge success too. So I hope it works well for them. Yeah.
We might have just rocket strapped their show.
Might have. All right. WWE Front Row asks, what are some teams you'd make for the Mixed Match Challenge? It doesn't have to be currently active wrestlers. Example, e.g., Batista and Shayna Baszler. That's an odd combo I wouldn't have necessarily thought of. I would have gone more Brock Shayna or Brock Ronda Rousey or something. I know. That's kind of like tough in the spur of the moment to think of a few, isn't it?
So it could be from any point in time?
I think so. I think that's what he's saying, with Batista and Shayna Baszler being the example. It'd be easier if it were the current roster, but let's go back in time. Let's say, let's say Bastion Booger and Bertha Faye.
What about this? Wendy Richter and Hulk Hogan?
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
Both champions in their respective era at the same time.
What about Nature Boy Ric Flair and Charlotte?
Ooh.
Huh? Yeah. Dad-daughter team? Yeah. Lots of chops?
Yeah.
Figure 4s, figure 8s? No, Huh?
Yeah. So many possibilities. Too many to think about.
What about the Fabulous Moolah and Michael Hayes from the Fabulous Freebirds? I'm just, these are coming off the top of my skull right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's a few. There you go. WWE front row.
Whew. It's a good one.
Right? Yeah.
Huh.
NCorb88, I just jumped all over you, didn't I? But when listening to the pod, I'm always surprised that there are certain stories that you both tell and the other one hasn't heard before. Did you guys discuss a lot of things during your single run, or was it just he's going one way, I'm going the other?
Yeah, I mean, there was a time there where we didn't see each other all that much, you know? And, like, texting wasn't really a thing at that point in time, so we weren't really texting all that much, and, you know, we'd see each other maybe, at that point, maybe once a month, if that. Like, especially when you were in WWE and I was in TNA, because you were, like, top guy at that point in time, so you were not just wrestling, but you had other commitments. You were doing promotional stuff, you were doing commercials, you were doing all these other different things, so you were pulled a lot, you were barely home at all. Whereas when I was in TNA, I was home a lot. So, there was a big gap there, a big time where we didn't see each other that much.
I think, too, like, our relationship isn't based on wrestling first.
Right.
I think the fact that we met in the 6th grade and we became friends because of wrestling and because of our fandom of wrestling, but it's not, we didn't stay friends because of wrestling. Yeah. You know, there's from 6th grade till 17 years old where we had all of that time, you know, and then we started wrestling.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's certain people that you're friends with in the business that the only thing you have in common with them is wrestling, and you get along fine, but every time you get together, you just talk about wrestling the entire time because that's really the only thing you have in common. But, you know, for us, like I said, we've known each other our whole lives, that a lot of times when, you know, we'll come up there to visit you or you come here, we'll talk on the phone, like wrestling won't even come up. Like, we won't even talk about it. So, yeah, that's a thing, too.
Yeah. This is a good one. Chad the Dad, with Elimination Chamber this Sunday, what would be your dream chamber match of anyone in wrestling history?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Man. Are we in it?
No.
Man, that's a good one.
Right?
Dream Elimination Chamber.
I know. Because you can go so many different directions. Like, I mean, would I love to see Shawn Michaels and Rey Mysterio and, you know, start picking names? Or would I like to see, you know, Bruno Sammartino, Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, you know, The Undertaker, and you know what I mean? Like that kind of vibe.
Like heel Andre the Giant.
And babyface Undertaker.
Yeah, and Rey Mysterio, throw Rey Mysterio in there just because of the sheer, like, the size difference and how we'd have to use the cage climbing it and stuff to elude these big guys. You know, then put a powerhouse guy in there. You know, like a Batista or somebody like that, right? Or who?
I don't know. It's too tough.
You know, Orton in there just for how smooth and how good he is. I don't know. I mean, that's a tough.
But then do you go? I'd like to see guys like, you know, Jake and Orton and Barry Windham and you know, Mr. Perfect, all like smooth guys. I don't know. Or do you go for the difference in styles? You can go any direction. Chad the Dad. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah,
something that we would probably need to think about more. Because
you throw Paul Smackage in there, brother. You never know what's going to happen. He gets out of that pod, rolls somebody up, and holds him there on that they're great for about 15 minutes, brother.
Well, you said you don't know what's going to happen, but you do know what's going to happen. He's going to small package somebody.
You do. You just don't know for how long.
Oh, okay. All right. Will there be another anatomy of a match from Coast to Baylor? Yes, we already answered this earlier. It will be Steve Austin, hopefully versus Bret Hart. I just got to get a hold of Bret.
That's the one, brother. Hey, Frederick Sims at Orly _Fred. I think I said that right. Which Golden Girl do you guys and Mega Matt most identify as? Hashtag hard hitting. Hashtag we want truth. Hashtag who's Blanche. So,
I would probably be Blanche, right? That was the
promiscuous one?
No, the tall one. Dorothy. I guess I'd probably be Dorothy.
Yeah. I think you'd be Dorothy too, just because, you know, think everything revolves around you, and you're
I got to take control of everything, because if I don't, it just becomes a fucking shit show.
dipshit. Fuck. I don't know. I think
I think you're the grandmother.
No, I think yeah, because she's kind of crabby, right?
Yeah, and just like
and funny,
just angry. And,
yeah,
annoying, and yeah.
I could also be Blanche because she's the rich one.
Yeah, but wasn't she also the promiscuous?
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah,
so yeah, I think I'd be. I don't remember the name of the grandmother, but I think that would be me. Yeah, smart ass remarks, a little bit snippy at times, but also super funny. Yeah, that
you kind of walk the same as her. You're kind of
same height,
weird, and like thin and
same
ganglish.
clothes.
Yeah.
So Matt, what do you got?
Which one is Betty White? What's her name?
Rose.
I'm Rose.
Yeah,
for sure. I've always felt that way.
You push over people telling you you're ugly.
Yeah,
and not that people are telling her that she's ugly, but I mean that's you just kind of.
Betty White ain't ugly.
But just
no, she's not. What I'm saying is that he's like kind of the pushover. People yell at him stuff in public, and he just lets it roll off his back.
Right, but like some hell of a career.
He's too nice.
Tons of longevity.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
And so, Mega Matt, you have pictured yourself in the Rose position before. This is not just something that is being sprung on you. You've actually put thought into this, and you went, yeah, you know what? In life, I'm like Rose from the Golden Girls.
It's in my high school yearbook. Who do you
most likely to be Rose?
Who do you most identify with? Rose from Golden Girls.
Well, there you go. All right.
So great question by that guy.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, you got a question for us?
Yes, I do. From a guy who refers to himself as Beef Chief. So that's fun.
I love Beef Chief.
Yeah, Beef Chief's great. Either of you have any memorable house show stories?
I mean, the one that pops into my mind pretty quickly is the day that I filmed that stuff in Cena's house where I slapped his dad. I had to hop on Vince's jet, but first we stopped at a restaurant to grab a quick bite to eat, because it was basically going to be, grab some food, hop on the jet, straight to the house show, which I think was in Reading. So we went from, just outside Boston. I grabbed, I think some pizza or something, I don't know. And as we're on the plane, I'm like, oh man, I don't feel too good. And I'd never had food poisoning before, so I didn't really know what it felt like, but I was like, this does not feel right at all. I get into my gear on the plane, I land, go straight to the building, and I'm wrestling John that night. And John and I would generally go 25, 30 minutes, and I just remember wrestling and going, oh no, oh no,
it's happening.
This is not good. I feel like stuff has to come out of every orifice right now. And I'm like, I have the cold sweats in the middle of a match. Like, what's happening? And I just remember taking bumps and going, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. Oh my God, I'm going to throw up. He gave me that whirly bro back suplex. I was like, here it comes. Oh no. And I was like chewing it back down. Just because I was like, I don't want some kid scarred for life who sees, Edge take a bump and hurl straight up into the air and have it fall back on him. Nobody wants to see that. So make it through the match. But as soon as it's done, I rolled out right under the ring. And so, so I cheated to win the match because I think I was champ at that point. And I rolled out, put my head under the apron, and just fucking puked everywhere. I didn't know what else to do. I was just like, I got to do this. So just barfed everywhere. And then wiped my mouth, rolled back in, and fed John to leave the people happy.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I remember
you remember this one, and it actually ended up being Owen Hart's very last match.
Chicago.
And in Chicago on a live event, and you and I were wrestling him and Jeff Jarrett. And they used to, we were wrestling them on a few loops and stuff like that, and we had some pretty fun matches, and Owen is notoriously known as a bit of a ribber. So, and he was, in that match, he was like on fire. Because remember, he came out in he had his hair sticking straight up, and he was wearing he was wearing his black and silver tights, but he had his baby blue boots on that completely didn't match. And he was just, and I remember he'd lock up and he'd go, he'd be like calling a spot to you, but he'd be mumbling it. And you'd be like, what? And he'd throw you off the ropes like, just do it. And you're coming off the ropes not knowing what he's going to do, and just like drop toe hold you or something like that. And then at one point he backed me and he said, watch the Cobra Clutch. And I was like, what? He throws me off the ropes and he somehow got me in a Cobra Clutch. I was coming off the ropes, and then he goes, reverse it. I'm like, oh, and I don't know how to reverse a Cobra Clutch. So, but then later on in the match when we were doing the comeback, remember we backed them, we did double 10 punches in the opposite corners, and we got up there and looked down, they were both wearing clown noses. And then we shot them together, and they did this big shoulder tackle against each other in the middle of the ring, and the noses popped off and flew up in the air, which was pretty funny.
They did that in Hershey, too. Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Man.
Also, I have a picture from that match, and you and I are shooting Owen into the ropes, and I think we're getting ready to give him a double hip toss where we went to our stomach.
Yeah.
And he was doing the high step, the whoa, and he was doing that as we were shooting him off. And the picture catches him running to the ropes with this ridiculous look on his face doing that high step, and I will look at that picture to this day and just die laughing until I'm crying. Just so funny.
Yeah, man, he was the best.
Yeah. Yep.
So Eamon Rogers at Amon Rogers wants to know, I want to know from Christian what his thoughts were when Randy Orton nailed the slickest split leapfrog on SmackDown after the RKO on Mark Henry. So, something happened in the match in that comeback that Randy wasn't particularly happy with. And after the end of the match, he jumped up and he just did it just, I guess, to blow off some steam or something.
Yes.
And I caught it out of the side of my eye, and I turned and looked at him, and we were teaming together at the time, and he looked at me and I went, did you just fucking leapfrog and touch your toes? And he's like, yeah. What the fuck was that? And so we actually started to incorporate this because it was so funny that he did it. We started incorporating it into like our matches when I turned heel and stuff like that. If you watch those matches back, he's hitting those, like I'll go for a spear when I was doing the spear to kind of as my tribute to you. And I would set up for a spear and I'd charge and he'd do the leapfrog, or he would start doing it on his comeback, just especially on live events to make people laugh and just be entertaining and stuff like that. It kind of became a thing for that summer. It was just like, he's such a super athletic guy. He's got crazy hops. So yeah, it took me off guard though, to the point where I asked him what the fuck he was doing. So.
Sparklex6. Were there any people on the roster while you were still wrestling that you never got to have a feud program with and would have liked to? I can think of two off the top of my head that quickly popped to my brain.
Well, go ahead.
Steve Austin. I often thought, if Austin and the Rated R Superstar incarnation of my guy were around at the same time, that would have been a whole heck of a lot of fun, and never got a proper program with Brock, but we had really good matches. So it would have been fun to, dip into what we could have done. Sure, I think we had one match on a pay-per-view in England, and it was a handicap with Paul Heyman. But it was just a little glimpse of the kind of chemistry that we had, and that would have been fun.
Yeah, I think that was the question present tense?
No. Were there any people on the roster while you were still wrestling?
Oh, while you were still
that you never got to have a feud program with?
Man, yeah, it's hard not to say Austin, because he was the man, right? Like, I mean, I don't know if I know I didn't have a feud with him. I might have. I know I did a couple things with him in Rumbles and stuff like that, and maybe a couple tag matches. But yeah, that's obviously one, because he's obviously the biggest star in the history of the business. Here's a funny tidbit that I didn't know until somebody told me just recently, that Triple H and I never even wrestled against each other ever.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems absolutely insane to me,
right,
that can be a possibility. But now that you say it, actually.
Yeah. We've never wrestled. So.
Wow. Well, and to that note, I have only ever I ran one spot with Steve Austin, and it was the APA in Austin against, I think, us and Kurt. And it was just like shoot me under the ropes or something. But that's it. We never, anything. So there you go. Look at that. Look at that. Hey, Agent Egg says, what are your thoughts on the state of the tag team divisions compared to the level it was at in your guys' era? I, for one, feel it currently suffers due to a lack of career tag teams, i.e. most teams now are basically two singles guys put together. I can't disagree more. And here's why. Well, because I feel like the tag team division, and we've talked about it a lot, the tag team division is amazing right now. And that's not true that most teams now are basically two singles guys put together, because look at the Usos, look at the Revival, and you can say the Bar are two singles guys, but they have now transitioned into a tag team, and they are a proper tag team. Look at the Bludgeon Brothers. I mean, that's just off the top of my head. Gable and Benjamin, they're a proper tag team. They're not two singles wrestlers thrown together. I mean, how many other tag teams are there right now, Jay? Like proper tag teams?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this, and I've said this when we had the Usos on the pod, and if you haven't heard that, go back and listen to it, because it's a great conversation with those guys, that this is the best that I've seen, and not to brag, this is the best that I've seen the tag division since our era. And I think that for a long time, it became an afterthought, and it wasn't specifically an important part of the show as it necessarily could or should have been, and it is now. And it's thanks to teams like the Usos, who are just on another level right now, and they got some teams like Benjamin and Gable that are starting to pick up some steam and having really great matches and are working well together. You got the Revival, you got Bludgeon Brothers, you got all different sizes and styles, which is pretty cool, and I think it's an exciting time to be a tag team wrestler right now. And if you're coming in, it's not a bad spot to be in a tag team.
I can think right now, okay, I'm just going to real quickly, okay, Revival, right. The Bar, the Usos, Gable and Benjamin, Bludgeon Brothers, Brazongo,
New Day.
New Day, my gosh, New Day. There's 7 teams right there, like 7 proper tag teams. So Agent Egg, I don't agree. That easily rivals the amount of teams in the Attitude Era and back to the Demolition Rockers Heart Foundation era, for sure.
Don't be we can't kid ourselves here either, because when we were in that hot era of tag wrestling, there was makeshift teams then too.
Of course, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. What do you think they were?
Right.
They were put together, but then they made themselves a tag team. So
yep.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Yeah. Don't debate tag teams with us, Agent Egg.
Ooh. Hey guys,
we're not.
I'm just wondering if you have any favorite Canadian food snack. I'm thinking along the lines of Nanaimo bars, poutine lobster, Big Turk bars, Wonder bars, ketchup chips, Hawkins cheesies, sour keys, etc. Also, now that you are both residents of the U.S., what do you miss the most? And do you find that some food tastes different? I find American Oreos and McDonald's taste different, not because they're Canadian counterparts. I'm mostly asking this because in April I'll be attending the Steel City Con, which features one J. Christian Riso as a guest, and I was thinking of bringing him a Canadian goodie bag. Thanks, brother.
Dude, really? Like, you had to read that whole thing? That was a fucking letter.
And then it ends with, here we go. So,
dill pickle chips and hickory sticks. Boom.
Yeah, hickory sticks for sure. Ketchup chips, and I like Mr. Sub too for some reason. I love me some Mr. Sub. It always
smelled like BO when you went in there, but they
I
were
like
good.
Mr. Sub, man. Good assorted, good nice assorted sub or a nice rib sub. Oh,
you know what? Good. The old Harvey's student special, $2.50 every Tuesday.
You can't get. Harvey's was good, and they had those. I don't know if Harvey's is still there. I think it is. And they had those home cut style fries. Harvey's was good too.
Yeah. So
that was from Ian McD at Cheers, Ian. So
cheers, Ian. Yeah. Pickle Weasel 2, because I guess there's a Pickle Weasel 1. Could I get a shout out for my son Lane, who is going to IWK in Halifax soon for surgery? He loves the pod and is the biggest wrestling fan I know. Well, shout out to Lane. Good luck, buddy. Hope everything is okay. So Juan Angel, Juan Angel, what would you call it when you drop a deuce in a public bathroom and it stains the bowl? I call it a Frankensteiner. Okay, I gotta go with the Shard Attack. That's all I got. You got anything?
Man, I don't know, man. That's
a
tough
one.
Frankensteiner.
Frankensteiner. I don't know. Shard Attack's not bad. It's not a
Shard Attack.
Shard
Is that
Attack.
the wrestling related?
Yeah, I think so. So I went Heart Foundation. The Heart Attack. This is Shard Attack.
Man.
You know, when you go pow.
Shard Attack? Oh, Shard Attack. Gotcha. Okay, I got it now.
Now you get it. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I don't know. I'm on the spot here.
All right.
I like
Good
Shard
enough.
Attack.
Shard Attack it is. Smeezy is a Q&A episode code for couldn't get anyone on the show this week, but that you're not desperate enough to call Zach Ryder.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, and Zach will never be on the show, so we don't need to worry about that.
Although he did text me today asking if he could, now that he's a cat owner, because he's been texting me asking me for tips on how to raise a cat. And he's like, hey, can I come on the pod and talk about cats? And I didn't respond to him.
You did. Of course you did. Why would you?
Yeah, I would say that is probably code for we either couldn't or didn't have time to find a guest, and that excludes Zach Ryder at all costs, always.
And I mean, it was a weird work week for me, so that kind of threw stuff off.
Matt,
Xavier Shield. Oh, sorry. I'm excited.
Yeah, sure. Young Kimura says, if you were forced to trade ring gear with any superstar, who would it be?
Oh man, it's a good one actually.
Yeah.
Trade ring gear.
Yeah.
That sounds... Why would I want to wear someone else's sweaty ring gear?
If you're forced to, you didn't have to be sweaty.
Like,
it'd be fresh. You get it brand new.
Brand new. Actually, you know what? This is an interesting little tidbit.
Yeah.
One night, I wore Trevor Murdoch's trunks when I was teaming with Caden Murdoch, because I just thought it would be fun to wear, a pair of their red trunks. And so I did, and we were a 6-man tag, and I wore Trevor Murdoch's trunks.
That's pretty funny.
Umaga often wore my Rated R tights, and would also put Randy Orton's trunks over top of his tights. So there you go.
Actually, another funny live event story. In Baltimore, I was in an opening match, and I took Jericho's kick pads, and I put his kick pads on and wrestled the match in Jericho's kick pads. And then as a joke, when I came back, he was laughing, of course, and then as a joke, he wrestled without kick pads on. Imagine how weird that looked.
Ooh, yeah, that would be weird after all those years.
Couldn't get used to it. Like, it was like, whoa, man, it's so crazy watching him with no kick pads on. But it was pretty funny. And,
you know what? I'm going to go with Waylon Mercy. That's who I'd like to...
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, give me the old flowered shirt and the white pants. Why not? Or Tugboat.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna go Masachono. He always had cool gear.
See, I'm going for ridiculous. You're going for actually cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to answer the question.
Yeah, I know. The Brood era Christian, so I can wear a puffy shirt for once. Speaking of the Brood, go Stabby. What? Go Stabby. I just copy and pasted these. I didn't pay enough attention. Was there an actual backstage meeting about officially changing you guys from vampires to just guys, or did it just slowly happen with no explanation? Well, there's no backstage meeting or anything. And when they broke the Brood apart, that was always Gangrel's thing. So it was just time for us to do our thing, and we always thought, okay, we'll take this and make it a Bill and Ted's type of vibe, and that's a dated reference maybe for some folks, but that was, I think, always the, kind of the idea.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think, I think they were just trying to kind of, I think with the Hardys, they were trying to make them more heels at the time too, right?
Yeah,
I
think so.
Put Gangrel with them just so there was a little bit of difference with the. I don't remember why, but there was no official meeting, and I don't think we were in any position to be in official meetings at that point in time. I think people just kind of came on and said, "Hey, this is what we're doing." We're like, "Okay."
Yeah,
because we're pretty new, so.
and you just make do. But along those lines, Cindy Dang says her boyfriend wants to know. Bruce Pritchard said Gangrel was a shoot vampire while in the Brood. Did you partake in any vampire activities? I just remember I got this vampire encyclopedia, and I really studied up on kind of the lore of it and knowing all the different, the White Wolf game and all the different, vampire, group names, and studying up on like Nosferatu and like all the movie appearances and, Vlad the Impaler and kind of the historical, significance and things like that. So I did some studying, but never partook in any vampire activities.
Yeah, I mean,
or guyliner. Does that count?
Yeah, I mean, he lived the I guess the vampire lifestyle, right? And we were not. So we tried to learn about it and those sorts of things. Yeah, same thing. Read some literature on it, and that's just kind of dressed or how I thought a vampire would dress. And I mean, Gangrel was wearing a puffy shirt, so I wore a puffy shirt, and that was pretty much it.
I do remember people being disappointed when they would come to autograph sessions or whatever, expecting, and they were all gothed out, and I was wearing like flip-flops and board shorts and like a surf t-shirt. That usually disappointed them. Yeah. Adam Smith wants to know, do you think it's time for a full-time female commentator on Raw or SmackDown? I think so. Yeah,
for sure.
I think it's definitely time to have a female perspective. And it might be strange at first because you're so used to hearing, a male voice. But I think it's needed. And I think it seems to be one of the last sports where that seems, I think.
I think so too. And I think that was experimented with Renee Young on some shows. Mm-hmm. And I know she did in NXT for a bit. So I don't think it's... I think the same thing. I think that it would be a good addition to any of the announce teams when that happens, because I'm sure it will. Mm-hmm.
Matt Johnson, I know a full-time return may be impossible, but what's the chance we could ever see Beth Phoenix versus Nia Jax? That's got money written all over it. How would you feel, Adam? I think it'd be great. I think it'd be a great match. If she wanted to do it, it would be great. If not, whatever. That'd be entirely up to her, but I wouldn't be against it. I would say, hey, you're a mom now, and is it worth the risk? That would be the only thing I would say.
Well, Jorge Becerra, I think I said it right, at Puffer22 wants to know. Do you think knowing too much of the business as a fan kills the entertainment side of it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of like pulling the as we're doing now, pulling the curtain back a little bit. And I can see how that does. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too, and I think that it's like if you're going to go watch a movie, right? It's the same thing. If somebody tells you everything that's going to happen in the movie, it's not as exciting when you go and watch it, or you're not as surprised or as shocked. But in wrestling, for some reason, there seems to be this need to know, more of the backstage stuff, or why somebody's got heat or is not getting a push, or this guy is getting a push, or this person is doing this and is on the outs. Like, I mean, there's this thirst for that kind of stuff, and I mean, I guess that. I don't know, but I definitely think that the spoiler stuff, the need to know for those sorts of things, I think it does take away from some of the, from a fan perspective, it takes away from that, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit 3 right in a row. Okay. Well, after we answer them. Okay. So the Yep movement. What do you think of the idea of putting Heyman with Rousey? I think that'd be a great idea because I don't know how good she's going to be on the microphone in the wrestling arena. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't know necessarily after the initial bit if she'll be cheered.
Yeah.
And I think Heyman can give the same type of what he does for Brock, hyping her, making her seem, this force that Brock is. He could do the same thing for her, and it's believable that he would do the same thing for her that he's doing for Brock because they're very much of the same ilk.
Yeah. This one's going to be tough. Minders, 1999. Mount Rushmore of NXT. And go.
Oh, man.
Ooh. And now, to be fair, I didn't see NXT when Rollins was down there, or Reigns, or Ambrose, or any of those guys. I really started watching it when Sammy was catching fire.
Yeah.
So I know there's some before, I'm sure, that deserve to be on there. But if I'm just going, okay, I'd say Sammy, I'd say Finn. I'd say Bailey or Sasha. Maybe Bailey and Sasha. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I would throw Rollins on there because he was the first NXT champion.
How long was he there? I don't know.
He was there for a solid couple of years, I think.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even Bo Dallas. I mean, he was pretty much a top
I
star.
guess I'm just thinking of when it really started springboarding and taking off.
I think so too. Yeah. But I mean, it started taking off. I think Rollins was still kind of the centerpiece when it first started to take off or started to change a little bit. So I think you would throw him on there for sure.
I mean,
you got another one, Matt?
Do you put a guy like Neville on there? Because wasn't he champ for a year or something like that?
Yeah. No, I think you definitely would put a guy like Neville on there for sure. I think Neville will be on there. I think he was I think he was a really long reigning champion actually. So for sure he would be on there.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
I got one from Abdur Rahman Faisal. Have either of you ever been legitimately afraid for your well-being during any match, or worried about a crowd rioting a la Piper in Mexico?
The TLC matches, I think, were always a bit of a nail biter, and the elimination chambers were never any fun. They were fun, but they physically were not fun. And you always knew that there was a danger of getting hurt in those things, just because there's no give anywhere on that thing, and it just kind of throws your bumps off because there's the grating there, and if you get thrown from there back into the ring, your bump's kind of weird. It's just not good. I do remember working Ray, I think, in Guadalajara, and feeling like the audience might riot after. We had like a 58-minute match, and I was champ at the time, so I pinned him, and I just remember hearing nothing. It just went really silent. And I went, oh boy, it just got real in here. And then I got a cup of piss thrown in my face. So, there you go.
Yeah, I would think that, with the same thing with the elimination chambers or TLCs, and, you have that thought. I always try not to think about them too much. Like, I'd kind of get my head in the kind of space where I wouldn't overthink it because I didn't want to get hurt. But there's when you walk in the arena that day, there's that thought that goes through your mind, like, man, I hope I'm going back to my hotel room tonight, not the hospital. And because of a real possibility.
Actually, and again, to talk about it, the match with Mick was one where I definitely knew there was a large possibility of something pretty bad happening, but during it didn't really think about that too much. The last part of my 3 questions before I was so rudely cut off was from Zach Elevy. What is your all-time favorite WWE rivalry without either of you two involved? Is the first part. And what would be the greatest WWE Championship WrestleMania match that never happened? Ooh, man.
That's a good one.
My gosh, a favorite rivalry ever. I mean, come on. I don't even know if that's possible to pinpoint. But, I go back to when I first got hooked, and it was probably Hogan Orndorff that really...
Hogan Piper.
And Hogan Piper, and Hogan Savage.
Yeah.
Man, Hogan Andre. I mean, Hogan's kind of the recurring theme there, but those were the ones that, as a kid, just...
Yeah, Savage Steamboat. I mean, even when I first got into it, I think of Tito Santana and Greg the Hammer Valentine over the Intercontinental Championship. That was like a blood and guts type feud, and those are... Do you think of Big John Studd and Andre the Giant, two giant guys?
Just going to say that one, yeah. Those are the ones that really resonated with me. I know there's been amazing ones since, obviously, but I think once you get inside the industry, it's hard to be affected the same way as those ones. So, to the second part of the question, what would be the greatest WWE Championship WrestleMania match that never happened? I mean, I don't know if it would be the greatest, but it's the one that should have happened that never did happen. I think it was supposed to happen in the Hoosier Dome. Instead of going Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, they went Flair Savage, Hogan, Sid Justice, and I really don't know why, to be honest. I don't know how you didn't have Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan for the WWF title at WrestleMania. How did that not happen?
Yeah, it's crazy. And also, you think in recent memory too, and I'm not sure what the reasons were, but I mean, I know there was rumblings of it for a while. But you think of Sting and Undertaker.
Yes,
something pretty crazy.
Yeah,
it's such a.
That was not championship though.
No, but it's yeah. I mean, but
yes, good point.
That could have very well been a main event championship match.
Yeah, so, without a doubt. Yeah,
because we're armchair arm dragging here, brother.
That's right. Right.
We're lounge chair leapfrogging.
Ooh, there you go. All right, Cheese Lizard. If you could have anyone else's entrance as your own, whose would you steal? Ooh, man, I gotta go Taker. I think maybe Balor is the Demon. That's pretty cool too. From
you just want to do that whoa thing. Whoa.
Yeah, well, the crawl's kind of fun too because I used to slide in the ring.
Yeah, but if you crawled, you wouldn't be able to get back up.
Now, no. Back in the Dizzy. Man, I was a good slider in that ring.
Will Ward,
what?
At Ward 1794 wants to know, Edge, what do you think Christian's best match is? And Christian, what do you think Edge's best match is?
Oh my gosh, man, I don't know. We've had that discussion before too. You had some stuff that kind of flies under the radar with Regal and with Ryder and your ECW stuff, and it's too tough for me to pick one. I mean, if you're having to, the one at SummerSlam with Randy really, it's kind of tough to beat.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's kind of.
I mean, I remember you text me right after that too. The next day you were involved in it, but the next day before you left town, you texted me and said, "Hey, you're a made man."
Yeah, it just that match was something special.
Yeah, thanks, man. I didn't really like any of your matches.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Thought you were the shit, so I was like, fuck, could you just have one good match? Yeah. No, I would say, and I've said this before, your main event match with Taker at WrestleMania, just because of the significance of it as well, and what that meant. That not most people that get in the business aren't going to main event WrestleMania. That select few get to do that. So it was pretty cool to see you on that stage and to have a lights out match. And I'm just glad you didn't win.
Because then you really would have ever liked it. Hey, here's a quick one, and I want to answer this because I knew it. I knew there was going to be the comic book guy from The Simpsons to be like, this is actually the case. Matthew Aponte. Regarding Women's Rumble, moms also include Mickey James and Michelle McCool. You only included Trish Beth, and added Tamina. If you listen back and open your damn ear holes, take the wax out. I said moms of 2 kids, Chump Stain. I know Mickey and Michelle are mothers. I said mothers of 2 kids. That's why I said Trish, Beth, and added Tamina.
Had to have dual mom eligibility for that one.
Yes. Listen, go listen back to it, and then come back and send me a tweet and go, sorry. Oh, man, I'm fired up.
Ooh, Jimmy Bellamy's got the question of all questions here at Jimmy Bellamy. He wants to know, Edge Christian, what would you do if you simultaneously got mocked by Shane and told by Austin not to look at him?
Oh, my God.
I think we'd probably just die on the spot.
I think I'd probably have a stroke, and that'd be it. Yeah. Man, there's no recovering from that. I know that.
I feel like I go into fetal position and start crying, but all the while trying to spin around on the floor to stay out of the eye shot. Walking with your feet in a circle in fetal position.
Oh, while being mocked, though. Ooh, that'd be difficult.
I feel like you'd be getting mocked and I'd be told not to look at. So it'd be like a whole...
No, he's saying what if that simultaneously happened? Like, what if... Or is he saying if one happened to the other? I'm saying, what if you got mocked and looked at me at the same time?
Oh, man. Well, at least you wouldn't be able to look at the mock. Well, you have to look at the mock because you couldn't look at Steve.
And the mock would push your head up into the direction of the look. I don't know.
There's no coming back from that. No coming back.
I don't think there's. Red Ranger, you, the Birdman, and Tommy walk into a bar. What song is playing on the jukebox when you guys walk in?
Well, I mean, with Tommy, it's always Man in the Box, right? So that's playing in his head 24 hours a day.
True.
Music is on.
I don't know. So. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like, I don't know the name of it. If you like pina coladas,
I think it would be
in the rain.
I think it would be Dream Up.
Yeah.
He's nothing but a dreamer.
Yeah. Is he hardcore? Oh no. I'm just making up lyrics as I go.
He's grasping to Tommy Dream Up. Hey, the Stig.
I've been up for like 14 hours at this point.
We'll wrap this up pretty soon. The Stig at JBwiss16. Besides hockey, what's your favorite Winter Olympic sport to watch?
The luge.
Ooh, you like yourself a good luge, huh?
Speed skating too.
I am not going to lie. As of late, I've really enjoyed watching the figure skating, and that's because my daughter has taken a keen interest in skating, and she's really good at skating, and she is being coached right now, and she loves it, and she's out on the ice and have a hard time getting her off when she's out there, so I tend to be watching that just in case that's a course that direction she wants to go, because she seems to really have taken to it, and she seems pretty natural at 4 years old, and she's out there scooting around like crazy and spinning around and doing all these things. So yeah, I've been kind of watching that.
All right.
Yeah, I've always wanted to land a SoCal like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, triple Lutz for me. Dave Emery, Jericho keeps making digs about your guest phoning in compared to him doing it in person. No question, just stirring that pot, brother. Well, basically, then that means he's getting worried.
Yeah.
He's worried if he's having to take digs at us. Because
I haven't heard that, and that's the first I've heard of it, so maybe he just may be making stuff up.
Maybe, or maybe we just don't give a fuck about him, so that's why we don't mention him. All right. No. Oh, we love Chris. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Lee Wilson. Could Paul Smackage get a partner called Lee Magistral and form a tag team called the Kingpins? They could later expand into a stable by adding a third man, Victor E. Roll.
Man, that's good thinking.
It is. It is. Hey, I think to wrap this whole thing up.
Hey, would they have to wear the new T-shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees then that says, if they were all under the Smackage stable, if he's obviously be the leader, it would be, I'm a Paul Smackage guy.
Smackage stable too. I like it. I like it. I think last but not least, Zack Ryder. When will I be a proper guest? Never.
Yeah, I mean, it's not happening.
Yeah.
He's just
had his chance.
It's not going to happen. No.
Well, Birdman, that was packed. We got through a lot of questions. Didn't get to some.
No. Save it for next time, brother.
It was like the speed round, man. We were just going. I got
Banging out
angry at
questions.
times. You got mean at times. It seems, yeah, okay. There it is.
There you go.
I haven't been up for 14. I've been up for 20 hours. I was wrong. I was like,
Well-
why am I getting so tired? That's why.
Well, here's the thing. Next time we do this, you'll be on U.S. soil, and it'll be a little bit smoother, I think.
You think? Was I not smooth today?
No. I'm not saying it wasn't smooth, but people asking why we're doing a Q&A and all these sorts of things. They didn't want to switch it up, right?
Yeah.
We had Tommy on for a while for the tale, so we had him. Oh man.
Hey, and if I'm being completely honest here, I really dig the Q&A ones. It's fun to
They're fun, yeah.
Speed through these and like answer a bunch of stuff and see what's burning in the craniums of the hosers. What's making their gray matter go goo goo. Or gaga, as it were, depending on if you listen to Lady Gaga, I guess. And what are they feeling out there? Are their electrodes on fire? Are their synapses firing? What do they want to know from E&C? And we just told them for like 2 hours.
Gave it to him, brother. All right. Well, fear not. We'll have a get next week. I got a couple gets in mind.
Good. Go get getting. Go get getting.
Good.
I'm giving. I don't even want to get this year. I want you to do all the getting.
Yeah, of course you do. Because you don't want to. I'm doing all the legwork.
Hey, we can go back and count the gets from last year. We can do that if you really want to do that.
Yeah,
you don't want to do that. Trust me.
So, but whatever.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's an argument for not on the air, Adam.
Adam. All right, Birdman.
All right,
the next time,
have a safe trip home. We'll see you next time. I guess next time I slap your ass, it'll be on U.S. time.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Here you go.